guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Liesl and I'm here today with candied almonds. These are one of my favorite things to get anywhere I can find them. Usually they're at the fair or at Cabela's for some reason.
I don't really know why they sell them there, but that's just where I have all my memories getting them, so yeah.
But anyways, I figured why not make my own, because then I can have them all the time and I don't have to wait until I find them somewhere. So these are all the ingredients that you need. It's super simple, super easy, and super quick to make. So if you guys want to see how to make these, just keep watching. Alright, hi guys! So I am here and I'm ready to prep my pan. So what I'm starting off with is some butter and one of these little, I honestly don't know what this is called. I just realized that. It's like it's not a baster, no. Like a spreader. We're gonna go with that. And we're gonna start off by buttering up our parchment paper or our silicone mat, whatever you're ending up using. And we're just going to butter this up just so that once we put the almonds on it, it's not going to stick to the mat. This is a non-stick mat, so it's pretty likely that it wouldn't stick anyways, but we're just going to be on the safe side because I don't want all of my beautiful almonds to stick to this mat and then me not be able to get them off and eat them and gobble them up, because that's the best part of this whole thing. So I'm basically just taking some butter and we're just smearing it all over. You don't have to use a ton, but basically just get it all over the mat so that it's ready to go once your almonds are done and you're ready to stick them on the sheet. Okay, hey guys, I'm in my kitchen. Pardon the counter in the background. But we're gonna get started and we're going to put all of our ingredients except the almonds in a saucepan. You can do a pot if you want to, you can do a saucepan, however you want to do this. Just something that you can make sure fits all of your almonds and that they'll be able to get evenly coated with the sauce. So I'm going to start off, I'm going to take my saucepan and I'm going to put all of my ingredients in first and then we'll turn on the heat. That way we are sure that everything is in the pan and nothing's going to start burning. So I'm going to take my water, I'm going to pour my water in here. Then I'm going to take my butter, plop my butter in there, and my sugar. Okay, then we're going to take half of a tablespoon of cinnamon. And this is what's going to give it that yummy, like really like kind of Christmassy flavor, warm, whatever you want to describe it as. Makes it just really yummy and irresistible, really.
Except I can't get this back on. Oh, there we go.
Okay, last step is to take a half of a teaspoon of vanilla. I'm using Mexican vanilla. You don't have to use Mexican vanilla, but I highly recommend it because Mexican vanilla is so much better than any other vanilla you're going to use because it has such a rich flavor to it. And it's going to enhance the flavor of any of your baked goods or candied almonds. Okay, so now I'm going to turn on my heat. We're going to turn it on to like a medium heat is probably where you want it to be at. And I'm just going to start slowly stirring all of this together. Now my butter is already softened. This is just going to speed along the process of melting it down. So that just makes it a little bit easier for you. You don't have to soften it, but it will make your life a little bit easier. Now what we're doing is we're incorporating all of this together to make the sauce. And the most important thing about this entire recipe that you'll want to keep in mind is to keep stirring. You don't want anything to burn. And you want it to crystallize, but you don't want it to burn. So it's kind of a fine line, and so you want to just constantly be stirring to make sure that nothing sticks to the pan and nothing burns. So everything is nice and incorporated. Now we just need the heat to crank up and start to melt that butter. And then we're going to bring this to a soft boil. We just want to get it to a, the heat that it's going to be able to start to crystallize. And then we'll add our almonds. And you guys, this is gonna make your house smell so good. It's gonna smell up your whole house. It's better than any candle you're ever gonna find. Now I'm working with 2 cups of almonds today, and if you want to make more, you can just, change the recipe accordingly. So I'm doing 2 cups of almonds, and all of these ingredients together cost about $10 total is how much you would spend if you wanted to make these. Nuts are a little bit pricey, so you just, need to know that going in beforehand, but it's so worth it because these are so delicious. And you're going to have a lot of patience with this because it is going to take some time. It takes probably about 5 minutes for it to get to the boiling phase, and then once you put the almonds in, you'll stir them for about 15 minutes. So it's definitely a labor of love, but I promise you, it's worth it. Once you start to see small bubbles, you don't want it to be super boiling because you don't want it to pop and burn you. But once you start to see some bubbles, which I am seeing bubbles, you guys. So now I'm going to add in my almonds. And you want to do this slowly, so like I said, you don't burn yourself. And then it's stirring time. What you're looking for is for all of this liquid to be gone. It's going to turn into almost a powdery substance when all of the liquid has evaporated and all of the sugars have crystallized and will have stuck to the almonds. So you just want to keep stirring it. I'm going to turn the heat up just a smidge, not a ton, just a little bit, just to help speed this process along. And you can do this with whatever nuts you want. You can do walnuts, you can do pecans, you can do cashews. However you want to do this is completely up to you, completely up to your preference. This would be a really awesome Christmas gift if you're trying to think of, a gift to send with your Christmas cards or whatever. You can definitely give these as gifts because anyone that gets these from you is going to thank you so much. Okay, so now it's boiling, so I'm going to turn the heat down back to where it was before because we don't want any burning. And our syrup is getting nice and thick, and that's just going to help it to stick to these almonds and help it to crystallize, and it's going to be so good. And it smells so good, you guys. Oh my goodness, I can't even describe the smell. It smells like heaven. And our syrup is super thick and almost like molasses. And so that's how you know it's getting to the right consistency and it's starting to evaporate. And we're just gonna go until all of this liquid is gone. Fun fact that I learned today, almonds are in the peach family. I was like, what? I was so confused at first. I was like, almonds are not a fruit, but they are derived from the peach family. And if you think about it, an almond actually does look a lot like a peach pit. So they are ancestors of the peach family. These almost look like pumpkin seeds right now. We're getting there, you guys. Most of the liquid is evaporated, so we are almost there. And as you can see, the sugar is caramelized. So I'm going to pull this off of the heat and grab my pan really quickly, and we're going to transfer it onto our sheet. Okay, so now I'm transferring this onto my sheet carefully, and it says to immediately spread them out and make sure they're really not touching each other. If you can, they can kind of touch each other a little bit, but you want them to be spread out evenly so that they don't really stick to each other. And now we're just gonna let these cool off. It'll take about 15 minutes for them to cool completely, and then they'll be ready for samples and nibbling. You guys, these are so freaking good. I've already eaten a ton of them, and they just turned out so yummy and delicious. And these, oh, you guys, it's like comfort food to me. So make sure if you guys recreate this, you tag me at Little Liesl Creations, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!